Now we'll discuss levers. A lever is something that you have used before, whether you realize it or not. If you've pried open a paint can, for example, or pried anything, you're using a lever. A lever just consists of a rigid bar that is free to rotate about a fixed point, and we call the fixed point a fulcrum. And they're often drawn like this. You can imagine the little triangle here is the point that it rotates about, and then the lever, just a rigid bar, could be a board or a metal bar or something that sits over the fulcrum, and if you push down on this end, it goes up on the other end. And this is the way a lever is commonly drawn, but a lot of things that you run into in the real world are in fact levers. For example, a seesaw. You might have a board that you can sit on and it can rotate about this point. And one person would sit here and another person would sit over here. Maybe hold a little handle there. And they can push up and down, but that's a type of lever. Another case where you might see a lever, say a person is in their car and they've got a flat tire. So the back tire is here squashed flat. And they want to lift the car up to change the tire. So say this fellow puts a board under the back here and stands here and pulls up on the board to try to lift up the back end of the car. You should be able to see that as he puts an upward force up there on the board, if the lever is pinned against the ground at the very end right there, that's going to result in an upward force on the car right there. And this, by the way, is not the way to lift up your car if you have a flat tire. You should use a jack that can hold the car up while you change it. This guy would have to hold the car up with the lever simultaneously while he's changing the tire. That would be nearly impossible to do. Even if you had a friend changing it for you, you don't want to hold it up by hand while the tire is changed. But anyway, a device like this used to pry something up would be a lever. Something else you might not realize, but a broom would be a lever. So if you have, say, here's the broom handle, and here's the brush part of the broom down here. If you imagine you hold the broom in two places, you hold it with your hands. One of those places you can think of as a fixed point, like a hinge. So say it's pinned at the end, you hold it there, and then with your other hand you grab in the middle and you push back and forth. That's a type of lever. It rotates about a particular point, and it exerts force in the process. So all of those things are levers.